Why do we suffer at the hands of these politicians? Don't you know politicians work for you? Hey! You're the boss. You hire them and you fire them. Look at their campaign. You know what they do? They audition. Yeah! When you put them on the job, if they're not doing the job, then you fire them.
Okay, Talk Labor fans, good to be with you again. But let's get right down to business, because we want to wrap this stuff up and we want to put this information in your head in 20 minutes. Okay, we're going to talk about national, state, city, neighborhood, labor issues, and I got a big, juicy conversation for my coalition with listeners, because it's something you really want to hear and you're going to be happy with this, so you keep your eyes open. But we got a few things we're going to talk about before we get there, okay? And let's start with T-Rump. Now this guy came into the White House like a bull in a china shop. I mean, he came in and just destroyed everything that he came in contact with. You all know what I'm talking about. I don't want to go over all of it because you see it every day on television. I don't have to tell you that. But the question I have is, what do you do with an idiot like that? What do you do? I'm going to give you the answer. You vote him out and then you put him in jail like you would any other criminal. That's all you got to do. Stop being awed by all the stupid thing he's doing, because that's the game plan he had. He does that on purpose. While you're awing about this and awing about that, he's doing some other dirty stuff, like a little kid. So you can't take your belt off and whoop his ass, but put him in jail. Lock him up. I mean that, lock him up. And I got a feeling that we're going to do that. I know we're going to kick him out of office, but I want to see him locked up. I want to see if that hair's for real on his head. Okay, all right, but we want to talk about some things. With this coronavirus going on, you saw what happened in New York, you saw what happened in Illinois, and all of us that caught this thing bad when it first happened. And the governors were working hard. This idiot wouldn't work with them. But they worked hard and they got it down to a level where it flattened out. And they were able to open up a few things, but you don't want to open it up too fast. That's like I said here in New York. I mean in New York and here in Illinois. But you had some states, like the fool in Florida. He was saying that, and everybody was telling him, hey man, you got to check it. You got to make sure that this don't happen in your state. And he was saying, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm going to open up the state. I'm going to do what I want to do. And he did. And then he got on television and said, look, you all said I was crazy. Look at me now. You guys should be apologizing to me. That's back here some time ago. Because I knew what I was talking about. And Now, Florida is worse than New York, just like the scientists said. Now, people are riding him now. I mean, they're riding him. You know, he's tried to blame it on the protesters. No, can't blame it on them. That's you. Take a look at what I'm talking about. You had a man in Florida who voted against wearing the mask. He voted against it. One of the legislators voted against it. Now, when it came time down to himself, he caught the virus himself. And he died. Take a look at this.
Thank you, Jeannie. Tonight, a St. Johns County commissioner is fighting the coronavirus. He's the latest government official to come forth this week announcing they have the virus or have been exposed to someone who has. Our Jessica Clark has the story.
St. Johns County Commissioner Paul Waldron is fighting COVID-19, according to his daughter's post on Facebook. She said he is in the most critical of conditions and that because of complications from the virus, he went into septic shock and many organs are struggling. Waldron has been a St. Johns County Commissioner since 2016. He is one of the county commissioners who recently voted against a face mask mandate for the county. His daughter is asking for prayers. Jessica Clark, First Coast News, on your side.
Did you see that? I don't wish anybody any bad, anything harm to come to anybody, but when you do stuff like that, I have no remorse for you. I'm sorry. Just don't have any remorse for you. I want to take a different view. You know what I want to do? We're going to move on. I don't want to talk a long time about that because you hear it every day and they're stuffing it in your ears every day. Just try to make sure you keep your hands clean. Make sure you wear your mask. Make sure you take care of your kids. Make sure you take care of mom, dad, pop, grandma, everybody. When they tell you that, well, you know, most of the coronavirus situation is in the African-American neighborhoods and the people of color. And they are not as healthy as everybody else. That's a damn lie. What happens is this. The reason that most of us in the African-American neighborhoods is because the African-Americans are the only ones that actually work. Think about it. Who operates your buses out there? Who operate the trains out there? Who are your doctors that come through there? Most of them are people of color. Most of everything that's done, your restaurant workers, your people that work at Walmart, these are your workers. That's why it mostly happens in the African-American neighborhood. Don't let nobody tell you that you're sick because that's why you catch it. That's a lie. Okay? Don't even think about that. But I want to move on to something. You know, I want to give some kudos to the millennials again because they're doing a great job. Black Lives Matter. They try to do everything that they can to make that a outlaw organization, the way they did the Black Panthers when I was coming up. But they can't do it because you got too many cameras on them, too much is going on, and you guys are far, far ahead of them. So keep it up. I mean, really, keep it up. We were talking about getting rid of some of the monuments, you know, and I like that idea. You know, when you got people that were fighting against the United States, those were traitors. Those wasn't heroes. But you got people like Robert E. Lee sitting up there on a damn horse who was trying to kill everybody up here, and you putting a damn statue up there. Stonewall Jackson and all these murderers, you know, they had slaves and they killed people to try to keep the slaves. And you got this stuff all over the place and Confederate flags should come down. All that stuff should come down. But where I draw the line at when we're talking about getting rid of all that stuff is you got people like George Washington, Abraham Lincoln, people like that. I don't love them, but they were instrumental in putting this country together. And people like Lincoln was instrumental in keeping it together. Did they own slaves? Yes, they did. Do I like that? Hell no. But I want y'all to think about something. When we were in charge of this world, and we were at one time, if you think about the pharaohs in Africa, what color do you think they were? They were black. That was us. We had slaves, and we did the same thing, but we didn't go by color. We just had slaves. And I think that was bad. But you would think that we would move beyond that by now, okay? Slavery and all that. I don't condone what Washington and Lincoln did, but they did sort of help lay the foundation for this country, and we built it for them. People say Lincoln didn't fight the war because he wanted to free the slaves. He wanted to try to keep the country together. Okay, but in the meantime, they freed the slaves. Does that make any sense to you? So if they want to put a statue up there with Lincoln, that's fine with me. Want to put a statue up there with Washington? That's okay. He had slaves, and he on his dying bed he said free his slaves, which they did. That's the way they lived back then. I wouldn't dare have anybody do that today, and I say that because they have, I don't know if he's out now, my boy Bill Cosby in jail. He's been in jail. What he's supposed to have done happened 40 years ago. 40 years ago, everybody was doing that. They were dropping those little pills. Everybody was doing that. Hugh Hefner, everybody. But they locked the Negro up. I'm saying, Bill, I don't think what you did was right, but I don't think you should be locked up. If you locked him up back in 40 years ago, more power to you. But this is a brand new day. Brand new day. When I talk about that, did you know that the youngest American that died in Vietnam in the war was an African American? Do you know how old he was? He was an infantry man. He was an infantry boy. He was 15 years old. 15 years old. His name was Dan Bullock. Look it up. Go and read the history on that. Meantime, I'm going to let you take a look at this clip. Dan Bullock, 15 years old. Take a look.
Private First Class Dan Bullock was the youngest American serviceman killed in action during the Vietnam War.
It doesn't matter what percentage we represented in the population. What matters is what percentage we represented in the armed forces defending this country and carrying out the country's will.
Born in Goldsboro, North Carolina, he dreamed of becoming a pilot, a police officer, or a U.S. Marine. So anxious he was to join and serve his country, he altered his birth certificate and enlisted at the age of 14. Private Bullock arrived in Vietnam in May of 1969 and was killed in action less than a month later during a firefight. Private Bullock was 15 years old.
Okay, you know, like I said, I love what these millennials are doing and doing a great job. Some of them I don't like. You know, I used to like this kid here, but now I can't stand him. Just over the few days, get his stupid ass up on television. Chance, the so-called rapper, out there supporting Kanye West for president. Do you know they're playing you for a fool, son? Because you want that dollar. You don't sell your soul for $1. West run for president. He couldn't run down the street without a guide dog. That man is crazy. And for you to get out there talking about you support him, I don't know who your dad and mom is. You know, I'm just chalking it up that you're that stupid. I would like to talk to your mom and dad. I mean, Chance. Let me ask you a question, audience, y'all. And I'm talking to the young and the old. When or what have you heard him rap or sing? I ain't heard nothing. And I'm in the music industry. I heard nothing from Chap. I know he gets out there and he's out front of the camera. He can't sing. I saw him on TV with Lionel Richie one time. Lionel Richie thought he was nuts. And he can't dance. You ever seen him try to dance? I don't see him playing instruments. So what is a Chance the Rapper? When you do that kind of stuff, way Kanye West did, you become the same character, a bootlicker, licking Trump's boots for $1. Licking Trump's boot for $1. So my new name for Chance is Chance the Bootlicker. Anytime I see it, I'm going to tell him that. Okay? So we're going to take this little break and, I talk about the virus all the time, but take a little break and look at this. And we're going to come back. I got a great, great guest coming up. I think you guys are going to really, really enjoy these young ladies. They're doing so much here in Chicago and around the country. And a lot of y'all probably know them. But I'm going to bring them in and let them tell you who they are and what they do for a living. Okay? So take a look at this and we'll be right back.
Thanks very much. Well, Chance the Rapper is supporting his fellow Chicago musician Kanye West in his run for president. Kanye announcing that he was joining the race in a tweet which was posted on the 4th of July. Chance posted his own tweet today asking, quote, "Can someone explain why Joe Biden would be better?" End quote. And that tweet sparked a heated discussion with thousands weighing in on Twitter. The debate may all be hypothetical, however, because in some states it is simply too late for West to get on the ballot.
Okay, we're back, and as I told you, I got two of the, I think, one of the most fantastic singers in the Chicagoland area. And a lot of you all know them, I'm sure. I've seen them perform, and my goodness, they're just excellent. I want you to welcome the Sisters of Element.
Hi. Everybody. How are you?
How you guys doing?
Doing well. How are you, sir?
Oh, I'm doing great. I'm doing great. It's good to see you.
You too. Good to be seen.
Yeah.
Good to be seen. 13.
So let's get right down to business. You guys been singing. How long you been singing? Since you were?
Since we were about 7 years old.
Really?
My grandmother used to say we popped out of the womb singing songs. It was like not even cries. It was a harmonious singing when we came out.
So you're in harmony, huh?
Yeah. But since we were 7, we started, of course, in church. Praise the Lord. And, it just kind of snowballed into greatness, I guess, If I'm going to boast a little bit about it because I think I'm awesome.
Well, I heard that your mother is a fantastic singer, too.
Yes, sir. She's a singer and musician.
Is that right?
Yes, sir.
She also plays the bass guitar.
She does?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir.
Do you guys play the instrument?
No.
You said that in unison.
Just his voice. That's the instrument.
But no, I heard your latest album. I think it is fantastic.
Well, thank you.
You got to get it out there and it's got to be heard. That album is just fantastic. So, do you write your own music? Where do you tell me about your music career? Your label, who you are, who you're with, who you associate with.
Sure.
Just run it down. I got a minute or two.
Well, actually, we are signed to a record label, Quiet Kingdom Recordings, and the album is called Love Changes. It's available everywhere, downloadable everywhere, and I have a copy of it in my car in case you see me in the street.
It's called what now again?
It's called Love Changes.
Love Changes.
And it actually took us a very, very long time to get this EP done. It's a funny story. We actually had one done already. And when we took it to the team and listened to it ourselves, we all kind of decided that it wasn't good enough. So we went in and just kind of did everything over again. And we write some of the stuff along with our wonderful, wonderful writing team and our producer, T.O. Williams, and one of our wonderful writers, Miss Danny Jo Williams.
Oh, wow. You know what? Whatever you all went back in the studio and did, it was marvelous.
Thank you.
It was marvelous. I want to hear a little bit of that one. I think it's something dealing with down by the river.
Going down to the river, gonna put it in the stream.
Yeah.
Put it in the stream, watch it float away, let it go.
I love that song.
Going down to the river so I can see. I love that song. Actually, T.O. Williams wrote that one. It was a long time coming. When we sat down and decided to come up with that particular song, he wanted to have something that kind of felt backwoodsy. We are not, the youngest people. That we waited a little while before we got into doing music, and a lot of people think that was not the right decision, but I think that it was.
It was the right decision.
I think so too, because especially for a time like now, and we can be honest, with what we want to say in our music, and we don't have to be, shy away from any certain topics, or and our ages can play a big part in the value of what we're saying.
Right. You see, engineer, if you can just play a little clip of that song, just a little bit. Yeah.
Going to the river, gon' put it in the stream. Put it in the stream, watch it float away, let it go. Going down to the river, gon' put it in the water. In the water, I don't wanna see it no more. When I cry, the tears fall down in the river, and the river just wash it on the way, yeah. Said it's alright, I'ma live my life. Ain't no sense in trying to hold on tight. Oh, down the river you go, down the river you go. I wanna start anew, wanna start anew. Oh, down the river you go. I ain't hurting no more, I got better things to do, better things to do.
That was great.
Beautiful.
That was great. And listen, your whole album, I'm telling you, you people, you got to go pick it up. You got to go pick it up. I mean, that to me is one of the best albums I've heard in years. And so you, with this coronavirus, I know it put a damper in a lot of things you're doing, like some of your shows that you were doing, some of the concerts that you were signed up for. But it won't be around forever. It won't be around forever. So are you guys still in the studio writing?
Absolutely,
okay.
absolutely. Even though we're in a national pandemic, it's a crisis. We are musicians. This is what we do. This is our job. And so just because the bars and places we sing, the concerts and the fests are closed down doesn't mean the music stops. We still have to make music. People are still going through. They want to hear it. They want to be free. They want to put their troubles into the river. They want brighter days.
Right.
They want, we have to. We have to. And then
it's
on top
encouraging.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And even on top of that, we do work outside of music. We are home nurses.
Yeah.
So we have to go into people's homes at this time as well. So we're just thankful that we're still able to, basically pay the rent.
Yeah. You know what? And that is a true statement.
Yes, sir.
And like I said before, who are the workers? People like yourself.
Yes,
right here.
That's what I'm saying. And you're out there every day and you're doing, but what we're going to do, I want to have you back here. I'm going to have you back maybe before this virus is break, but I will definitely when this virus break, we want to have you back.
Yes, sir. We love Talk Labor. We love you. We watch all the episodes.
Yes, we do.
Oh, okay.
This new studio is amazing.
Oh,
I love it. And we love you. Thank you so much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Sisters of Element. And the name of that album is Love Changes.
Thank you, guys.
Love Changes. It's in all the stores. You can go to Amazon and all that and pick it up and you do what you do. And if you catch them out there, they got it in the car.
I sure do.
All right. Thanks, ladies.
Thanks, Mr. Williams.
All right. Appreciate it. Okay, we're back. And as I told you, the coalition, I got juicy news for you. I want to break it all the way down, and then we're going to run back where we are now. Like I told you before, we filed that lawsuit. People thought we were crazy. 10 years ago. We've been fighting it for 12 years. And I've come all the way with it. And they were like, Jerry, you're nuts. But all the money that they took from us, and it is a lot of money. They said, you're nuts, you'll never get it back. Ain't no way in the world. Springfield passed that bill and yada yada. We went through all that thing and we talked about it. Went all the way to the Supreme Court. What we did, we filed a lawsuit. Because I filed a lawsuit. CTA said, you don't have a right to file a lawsuit. So they challenged my right to file the lawsuit. So I had to take it all the way to Springfield. Now y'all keep this in mind. Other entities that filed a lawsuit, they got their results quickly. I want you to know that the Chicago Transit Authority is like 90% African American. We had to go all the way to Springfield, to the Supreme Court. But they did rule in our favor. The appellate court ruled in our favor. And they said that they do have a right to file it because the union don't represent them. Okay, so we had to come back. The Supreme Court told the circuit court who had ruled against us, change your ruling. They do have a right. That's 10 years later. People said, oh, we're not going to get it. This one young lady, Sally, I don't know her last name. Oh man, she was hell-bent on, oh, they're crazy. They don't know what they're talking about. And I don't know why they even talking about it. Yada, yada, yada. Let me finish this. So then we came back, we filed a lawsuit like we were supposed to. Now we went through the changes. Now, CTA was fighting us back and forth, back and forth. And I feel like they know that they're losing the battle. So what they did was they turned around and said, well, yeah, Jerry filed a class action suit, but he don't have a right to file a class action suit. He can file it for himself, but he can't file it for them. That's a lie. I can file it. And we had to go to court on that. That was a big hurdle that we've been waiting on for about a year now for the judge to rule on. Going back and forth. They present theirs, and our attorneys present theirs. We had depositions, we had testimonies, and we had all kind of stuff. Well, last Friday, the judge ruled, and he ruled that we did have a right to file it and he ruled in favor of us having the class action suit. That's the big hurdle, y'all. That's the big hurdle. Now we move forward. Got the copy of the judge's ruling. You look up there on the screen. You're gonna see the judge's ruling. You're looking at the front page and the back page. The main thing you want to see is that one that's circled. That's what the judge ruled. Believe me, this is no joke. They are going to have to pay all that money back to us. We're going to finish this up. And it looks like we're going to be finished somewhere around the fall. I can't, don't hold me to it. Don't say, Jared, you said the fall. I'm saying somewhere around the fall, we should be finishing this up. Okay? But the big thing was, the monkey off our back was this right here. And we're looking forward to it. What's going to happen now that we just got that, our attorneys are going to send each and every one of you a letter letting you know that you are a member and you are covered under this. Now, if you don't want it and you don't want the money, you can always say, I don't want it. You can send it back. But if you want it, you don't have to do anything. Just leave it like it is. Now, we had 6,300 retirees, okay? Now, we had 3 people that said they don't want it, including that Sally girl. So I want to see if they're going to send theirs back, that they don't want the money, okay? But anyway, as we go, first opportunity we get, we're going to have a meeting, and I'm going to have the attorneys come down and just explain everything to you. But you can always go and pull up the judge's ruling yourself. It's on that screen up there. You're going to see it. The numbers are there. You can go pull it up for yourself, look for it, and then read it. You're going to be happy with everything that you're reading in there. Go and read it, okay? But anyway, I'm so happy till, at every end of the show, I like to give you some soul, some old school. But I'm going to give you my favorite band today, okay? Check them out. These boys are bad. We're going to see you again next week. We hope to have a lot more to talk to you about. We're going to have some guests that I think that you're going to really, really enjoy. I want to thank the Sisters of Element again for stopping through and lighting the studio up with their talents and where they're going. See you next week. Talk later.
It's time for the world to pieces. So won't you try your love? From wrong to right. Please, Father, please, this world we live for. Deliver us from all this evil and pain. God bless the heart, loves unto his brother, praising God's your name. You should be not afraid. Say, believe I will sing. And if you're thirsty, I will quench you with my love. If you're hungry, I will feed you with my word. All I ask of you is that you love as I do. And if you lose your way, I lead you to my love. From a simple life I led you in my love. For creation there's a weakness. Oh, my love. It's time for the world to try your love. The only love that can bring peace is your love. So won't you try your love? You should know without it there'd be no tomorrow. Challenge broken hearts and from sorrow. So won't you try your love? Without a bad day, no tomorrow. Shedding broken hearts from sorrow. So won't you try your love? You know that there's no excuse for you not to try love. Deep down inside you know you got love. So won't you try your love?
Yeah.